Good morning. Good morning, folk. We are, again, as always, excited about our guests that we bring into the studio and all the attention that we're getting at the same time. The phone just can't stop ringing. Somebody's going to have to wait 2 hours, though. So if you're listening, you should be. You should know that I will be on the radio, televised radio here at the eLife Media Studios for the next 2 hours, talking to some really wonderful people about some wonderful things that they got going on. So we're going to jump right in here. And Heleese, we've got a special guest in our studio today. And what do we know about this young lady? Who is Miss Alqamar Malik? Heleese? That was you. That was you. That was your cue. That was your cue.
Well, I'm here today to find out.
Other than she's dressed fabulous. You see how fabulous she's dressed there? She's
One
dressed
thing I will say
fabulous.
is that I actually know Miss Alqamar Malik
From another
from
life.
a photo shoot that I did a while ago for my old hairdresser, and it was modeling her jewelry because she has her own jewelry line. So it was kind of ironic to start working here, and then I come in and I'm like, there's a flyer right there with my picture on it.
Yeah. Who's using my picture?
What's going on here?
That's right.
And come to find out it was Alqamar. And the flyer was for her jewelry. So that's pretty cool. We're reconnected.
Right, in this little big town. Right?
There you go. So Alqamar, tell us about yourself. Who is Alqamar? Where you from? What you doing? And we're going to dive into this book you've got in front of us.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I am a myriad of different fabulous things, if I say so myself. I grew up in D.C., in Southeast, and born and bred on the rough side of town. I have 2 children. They're both adults.
Right.
Ages 21 and 26.
Yeah, I don't like when people start off not telling the truth. You got a 26-year-old child.
I have a 26-year-old son. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I'm sorry. In the viewing audience, I apologize once again. Obviously, you all know where this is going. She's got it. Look at her. I'm going to show you another picture of her. Hold on one second. She's got a 26-year-old son. Now, you all tell me 26-year-old son coming out of, it ain't happening. But anyway, we're going to let her finish. Go ahead. Go ahead. Talk to us.
I am an entrepreneur. So, as my sister just mentioned, I have my own jewelry product line. Just been extended into clothing.
Okay.
I just finished my newest baby, which is this book. I'm so proud of myself for. I also do events. I'm an event planner, so I plan different functions and fairs all around the city, and bus trips and fun things, interesting things, cultural things. So yeah, I'm a myriad of different.
You are a tangled web at this point. You are a tangled web.
Quite tangled. It's a web, but it's not.
It's not tangled. Oh, okay.
It's refined.
So tell us, you are an author, and you have written. This is fiction.
It is fiction.
Okay, so you've written fiction, and tell us about this tangled web, a tangled web that you have before us.
Okay. It's actually fictional truth.
Okay.
That's what I like to call it. It is a thriller. It has romance in it. It has interesting and dynamic people that are entrepreneurs, such as myself. They always say there's, even in fiction, there's a little bit of truth in fiction.
Mm-hmm.
It's based in New York City. It's about 4 entrepreneurs, and they're finding their way through business, mixing business with pleasure, and finding the challenges and the strengths that come along with that. So yes, I've been getting really good reviews.
That's good.
From strangers online as well as friends and family. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of it.
And tell us about the Tangle. What's the Tangle? Is the Tangle the business?
Oh, wow.
Or is the Tangle,
giving up.
Yes.
Because it is a thriller.
Yes.
And so I don't want to, tell you, too much.
No. Just is the Tangle in the relationship space or is the Tangle in the business space? Both? Ooh.
Yeah.
Money and love.
Money and
Two things you don't want to get tangled up into.
Money and love. Yes, it's fascinating because it twists in and out and weaves in and out from different characters. So every character in the book has a fascinating story attached.
Mm-hmm.
So hence the entanglement. So they all, although they have all their different lifestyles and challenges in their lives, they all come together as well into creating one huge web of interesting things.
Sounds interesting. Sounds like you probably got a lot of twists and turns in there.
Oh, yeah.
So what can the readers expect to gain from this book?
You can certainly expect to gain some insight into
Alqamar's relationships. I'm sorry. I just threw that in there. And I was thinking it, and I told my lips not to say it, and my lips were disobedient again.
Which character are you?
Right.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually a little bit of them all, to be frank and honest. I'm a little bit of them all, but it's really not based on my personal story at all. But to answer your question, what can they expect to receive from the story? I think those who find challenges in being loyal and committed in relationships and being honest, I think they can find some understanding as to why that is, and some structure and discipline to how to maneuver our way out of those, hurtful
How to
situations.
get out the web.
Right. Thank you.
Now, what put you in a place where you felt like, I need to write because people need to hear what it is that's going on inside of my brain? How did you get to that point?
I've always been a writer.
Okay.
Ever since I was a little girl, always loved books.
Okay.
Always loved to write stories.
Okay.
Poetry. My mom always reminds me she has written poetry for me when I was only 8, 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's always been one of my lifelong dreams, actually, to become an author. So always been in my father was a writer.
Okay.
He was a good writer and orator. So kind of picked up that trait after.
And who inspired you? Was there somebody in particular you think about? There's the writer, I can't think of her name, out of Chicago, who wrote all the love stories, the fictional love stories. I can't think. What's her name? Help me out. You should know. Both of you all are writers and readers.
I don't read a lot of love stories.
Oh, okay.
And ironically,
She wrote Waiting to Exhale, right? Now y'all are not right.
Her name is
Google.
I should know.
You should know.
Ironically, I don't even, believe it or not, me personally, I don't even read a lot of fiction myself.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is just one of those things where this book has been 5 years in the making. And so, it just, I wrote a lot of short stories before, but I challenged myself to just finish a story that I started. So, I'm really not even into the scene of the fictional author scene, but this was just something I wanted to do. So
So did you start off as an entrepreneur, or was there a time where you were in the workforce and decided this isn't for me? And if that's the case, how did you go about that transition?
Well, excuse me, I've always had the entrepreneur spirit. Again, ever since I was a little girl, I remember having a candy store. I was about 10 years old. And I told my father I wanted to, I watched another candy woman in the neighborhood make all the money. And I was like, we were going to her, and all my friends were going to her, and I was looking, I was like, okay, I could do this myself. And she was a little far away, like 4 or 5 blocks away from the neighborhood I grew up in. So I said, well, wait a minute, if I can do this in my neighborhood, maybe the people closer to me will come to me. So that was 10 years old. So I've always had a yearning and a knack to do my own thing. But I for a while, was in the business world. You know, I was a bookkeeper for several years. I worked in banking for several years. So yeah, I had my stint in both worlds. But I wouldn't trade entrepreneurship for nothing in the world.
So is it a matter of just saving enough for you to leave there and start your own business?
Sort of, kind of. Yeah, I kind of worked both until I did real estate for about a decade, and I was working both at one time. I was bookkeeping and selling homes, and it got to the point where I had clients coming up to my job to sign contracts for homes, and at that point I knew it was time. Okay, it's a little bit entangled here.
Right.
So I kind of worked them both until with the theme. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I just want to educate both of you. The young woman that we're looking for, the name that we're looking for is Terry McMillan.
Terry McMillan. I do
Yes.
know.
Of course you do now. Of course you do.
No.
Yes, it's okay. It's okay.
Of course. Shout out to you, Terry.
Yes, indeed. We'll never forget you,
Waiting to
especially
accept.
now.
Right.
Waiting to
Actually,
accept.
Facebook. Well, I follow her on Facebook.
Okay, that's it. So what you got coming down the road? What's next?
Well, this is one of a series, so I'm definitely working on the second book here, and I do want to also do a children's book on entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So that's also in the pipeline as well.
Okay. So this would appeal to somebody who's an entrepreneur, who's or someone else who's maybe in a relationship, someone else who's just exploring life and considering the changes and decisions that you have to make throughout life. So this would be like a book that not only tells a story, because you reveal the people, the characters and their story, you tell their backstory, and you reveal what happens to them as they interact with one another. But on top of that, you then go in and you talk about business and the intricacies of business and how they work together, how sometimes they don't work together. Yeah, so.
Right. Yeah, all the above. Yeah, it's definitely what I've been hearing from the public who have read the book is that they find themselves in the characters. So although it's fiction, it's definitely a guide. It can certainly be a how-to guide easily on navigating challenging relationships.
Tangled.
In business as well as pleasure.
So there is not one character specifically that you relate to the most, because you said that there's a little bit of you in each of the characters?
There is a little bit of me in each of the characters, but I do love Nana. That's my favorite character in the book. Yes,
Okay.
Nana. She's the voice of wisdom. She's the grandmother to one of the characters. She's not a main character, but she's certainly entangled, intertwined in the story. And yeah, I admire her more than any of the other characters because of her wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and how she imparts it.
And just because so much of you is in the book and so many diverse characters and personalities, and I just can't help but ask, when's your birthday?
When is it?
Mm-hmm.
It's July 29th.
So that's not within the Gemini
That's
spectrum,
the
right?
roaring Leo.
The roaring
Roaring.
Leo, the lioness.
Yes.
Okay, all right, that's good. Okay, and what do you have for the book? Are you doing any book signings? You got anything on the schedule?
I don't have any book signings on the schedule yet, so it's been moving pretty well though. I do have it for sale right here at the restaurant, Eli. You can pick it up here 3 days a week. It is online on a lot of the major distributors. Amazon has it. Create Space is another place that you can get it online. I have it on my own website, my jewelry website, that you can order there if you want to, which is MaliksFashions.com. If you want an autographed copy, it's on Kindle.
Okay.
So if you want to get it on your computer, you can get it via Kindle as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta have the book signing. You could just have the jewelry just sitting there in the background,
Right.
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
chilling. People are gonna be like, wait, what's this? Oh, I made that too.
Right.
That's mine. You might as well.
Right. That's the entrepreneur in me,
Yeah,
right?
I'm working on getting it in some of the book, the black-owned book shops
Yeah.
in and around the community.
Mhm.
That's the next goal as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Well, that is great. And I just want to thank you for coming on and sharing with us the information that you have about the book and about your life and about the work that you're doing and the work that you plan on doing, because there's so many people that probably are closet authors that just haven't come out the closet yet. You need to come out the closet. Start writing, put it down. Now you can do it in a computer, right? So just start typing in a computer and start telling your story, whatever that story is, and eventually you'll create the masterpiece, and even before you create the masterpiece, it's all right to create something less than on your way to getting, to creating the masterpiece, And your masterpiece today will probably not be your masterpiece tomorrow. So you'll keep getting better as you work on you and expose yourself to more of life and more of the people out here that are doing life. So that's a good look. I want to thank you for coming on board, and I appreciate the energy that you brought to us. You're here at Everlasting Life 3 days out of the week,
Yes.
not only with your book, but also with jewelry and fashionable
Nice
clothing.
clothes,
And y'all saw the, let me let y'all see this again. Did y'all see the clothes that she's wearing? She's wearing fashionable clothing. It's like art, wearable art. Yes, so she has that here at E-Life Restaurant.
Every time I see her in here, Doc, I'm like, don't look at the jewelry. You're gonna go broke.
Right.
Run away.
That's it. So again, thank you for coming on board with us. We look forward to hearing the updates and getting the next product here so that we can bring exposure to it. Is there anything you'd like to say before we close out?
No, that's a pleasure. It's a pleasure being here, allowing me to talk about the book, and being here presently at the restaurant. And I love being here.
Great.
3 days a week. I meet so many fascinating people that come through this door. So if you guys are in the listening audience or watching and have not experienced the Everlasting Life phenomenon, you're missing out. Certainly, you're missing out. Come and see wonderful food. The whole experience.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to show the back page of the book here so that people get a chance to, for those who are close enough, maybe those on their cell phone might not be able to catch it, but for those of you who are close enough, you all can check that out as we say until next time. Ms. Alqamar, we appreciate you, and you stay with us, and we will keep working at making ourselves better, and maybe we'll be able to be one of your characters as you learn more about the craziness that goes on in the restaurant and now televised radio world. So thank you.